Hi, I'm Bo, and this is an asparagus field. I want to thank our gold sponsors, Mayo Clinic Health System and Ultra Credit Union. Thank you so much for supporting Hmong farmers. Hi, I'm Bo.
And I'm Josh Dumale.
And this is Cooking with Bo.
Today we're going to be making potato gnocchi with pesto, ricotta, and broccolini. First, we're going to start off with trimming up our broccolini. And I usually chop off like the bottom inch, just because it's a little woodier. And then the amount kind of depends on how many servings you want. Like say for like 3 people, I would probably do like this amount. But we'll go ahead and finish it all up.
Okay, I eat a lot anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of these guys.
We'll go ahead and start on the gnocchi themselves.
Okay.
Gnocchi is super easy to make. I went ahead and got us a couple of potatoes already steamed up.
Okay.
They are a little hot when they come out of the microwave, but luckily I don't feel anything in my hands anymore.
And this is because...
Just all the years of cooking in a kitchen, handling a lot of hot pans.
It's like, what happened there?
You just kind of get used to it.
And what kind of potatoes are you using?
So these are just russet potatoes. You want to try and stick with a larger potato. It's a lot easier. You don't have to peel a bunch of tiny like red potatoes. Normally, if I have the time, I would bake these in the oven on like a bed of salt, and it really helps pull all like the extra moisture out of it. But when you're in a pinch, a microwave works perfectly fine. And then for the amount of gnocchis we're going to do today, it's usually about 1 pound of potatoes or like 2 large to medium potatoes. We went ahead and already got some water boiling. We're going to season that later with a lot of heavy salt. Okay. And then we'll get our broccolini blanched off. And then the other pot will be ready for the gnocchi.
Okay. So Josh, tell me why broccolini?
So I first came across it in my first year of cooking at the waterfront. And I kind of just fell in love with it. It's not like a boring vegetable like broccoli. I'm not a huge fan of carrots.
I feel like they're like cousins, right?
Yeah,
like...
I mean, it's basically a fancier version of broccoli. It's just a little prettier.
It's like between an asparagus and a broccoli because it has this long stalk.
Yep.
And where can you find broccolini?
Pretty much at just about any grocery store should have it, yeah.
Have you seen them at the farmers markets? Do you know?
I've definitely seen them at the farmers markets, and I usually try and pick up what I can when I do see it. And then once we have our potatoes peeled, we'll go ahead and, if you want to mash those up with a fork for me.
And how, what are you looking for when I...
You want them pretty good and mashed up. I usually have a potato ricer when I'm doing them at home. But if you don't have one of those pieces, you can definitely just use a fork.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm cooking, I try to use just whatever we have in the house with any recipe. Because I feel like if you could just utilize the utensils in your house instead of buying something fancy like a shaker or like a something to pound things with, and just try to utilize and be creative with what you have in the house.
I used to be the same way, but over the years of being a chef, I've definitely collected all the fun gadgets now.
Perks of being a chef.
The hardest part though is finding shelf space for all of it.
Right.
So I'm continuously adding shelves to my house to hold all of the new gadgets that I pick up.
Fun project during the long winters in Wisconsin.
And so that's pretty much good. That's what you're looking for right there. We're gonna hit it with some salt in here, and then we're gonna start pouring in about 1 cup of flour.
Okay. Just keep mixing.
Yep. And then once it kind of gets to a shaggy part, you can kind of just dig in with your hands and start kneading it like a pasta dough.
Tell me about shaggy.
So shaggy is kind of a term for when you're making a dough and everything's just starting to clump together.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of to the point of where you can put your hands in without it sticking to your hands.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. And just kind of keep adding flour as you go.
It's starting to look like a dough.
Yeah.
So we added an egg. And what does that do?
So that's basically another binder to help kind of make everything a little more tender. And then if your dough's a little sticky, you can kind of just keep adding flour until it reaches like a nice firm dough consistency.
This is all new to me. I've never made pasta or like noodles with potatoes.
It's a lot of fun. Gnocchi's probably one of my favorite. And then once you have a nice dough like this, you can kind of pull it out, flour your surface.
Yeah, let me clear.
Yeah, let's get some of this stuff out of here. And you just kind of keep pulling it together a little bit. And once you got it about like that, Go ahead and give that a feel.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's pliable.
it's nice.
It's not too stiff though.
It looks tasty already. Like I could just put this in my mouth because I know it's
You could
potato.
probably take a bite and it wouldn't be half bad. And then we're just gonna take some plastic wrap.
And with wrapping it, does that help the dough rise, or what is it?
Wrapping it is just somewhere for me to set it to the side for now as we finish getting some other stuff together. We're gonna go ahead and cut up the gnocchi and we'll let them sit on the sheet tray. This is basically just gonna be a holder place as we get them into the boiling water.
Okay, sounds good. And we don't need to like powder. Oh, yep.
Yep, so we're gonna take a little bit of flour.
Powder, flour.
Powder flour.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just a little bit on the board. Then we can take our gnocchi dough, still nice and soft. Do you want to try rolling it out?
Yeah.
Cool.
We have a roller.
Nope, so you're gonna do it all with your hands.
Oh.
We're gonna take my bench scrape and just cut it in half.
Oh my gosh, what are we doing?
And then, so go ahead and flour your hands up a little bit.
Okay.
And then basically, you're just gonna, like, kind of like Play-Doh, just roll it out.
Oh.
Yeah, just into like a
Did it
log.
wrong. Okay.
Yep, imagine like, you ever do that with Play-Doh as a kid?
Yeah,
I played
yeah.
with a lot of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And then you can slide it forward, and then we're
Okay,
gonna...
I feel like mine kind of is flimsy compared
That's
to
okay, they'll look
yours.
pretty at the
Okay.
end, I promise.
Okay.
So then we're gonna cut them in half again,
Okay.
and then you're gonna take one piece, and we'll take a little more flour, and then you're just gonna roll it into like a snake.
A snake.
A snake.
Oh,
Like a
okay.
long snake shape.
Okay. All right. I feel like this takes a little bit of work.
It takes a little practice to get good at it.
My snake is uneven. It's like it's 8 something.
So basically, yeah,
There's
just
a
think of
belly.
it, if you don't touch it too roughly,
Yeah.
and then you kind of just
See?
pull your hand
There we
out,
go.
it just kind of turns into that long snake shape you're looking for. Then you'll take this
Okay.
and you'll chop them into like that size of a piece.
Okay. And what are we doing with the little piece?
And then the little piece you just throw right onto the pan.
Okay. Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
You can just press down and cut it off. There you go.
Oh.
Yep.
Nope.
We'll get you a little more flour here.
It's like making candy. I feel like I'm in a factory.
A little bit.
This is how candy is made.
There were a lot of nights where I would be in charge of making the gnocchi at the waterfront.
Yeah.
And I would have to do this, but like, imagine times like 10.
Oh my gosh. Lots of prepping, huh?
Yes, a lot of prep, a lot of hard work, but the end result was always, it was always really cool to think about the fact that like, who are you cooking for? This could be someone's
Right.
first date.
Yeah.
This someone's could be like anniversary dinner.
You
So, like,
can't
for me-
imagine what goes through like a cook's head when
Yeah,
they
for me, that's
are
what
serving
like
people.
made every dish important for me. Like, this dish is going to be something that someone is going to remember.
Right. I had a really good birthday date one time. Like all it works. So like we started. It was like a 3-course meal, and then
Nice.
and then dessert came out after that. Well, 3-course meal. And then dessert came out after that, and there was drinks throughout. It was really special because the chef took care of us.
Yeah.
You know. And then the bartender was our host, and they took care of us.
Nice.
It was really a really good experience. Best birthday dinner
Yeah,
ever.
keep chopping them up.
Okay. All right, you do one and show me what they actually look like, because I feel like I'm.
No, these aren't
Okay.
bad at all. These would definitely still get served. There we go. Last one.
And these are gonna go into boiling water.
Yep.
Okay.
And then basically they'll all sink to the bottom, and then once they're done, they'll all float up to the top, and give them like another 30 seconds of floating at the top, and then they're good to go.
So how long does it normally take to cook these?
It usually takes like a minute to 2 minutes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
fast.
super quick.
Wow. I feel like this dish right here would take practice for me. 1 minute and then oops, overcooked.
Unfortunately, yeah, if they do overcook, they kind of just, they can overcook. They kind of just fall apart in the water, and then
they
you get
do.
just a pot of boiled flour and potato water.
Oh no. Do they ever like get mushed together or?
I wouldn't know.
So how do we help them? Like once we take them out, do we just put them into a bowl and serve them right
So
away?
you could do that with a little tomato sauce or white sauce. Or what we're going to do today is we're going to set them back onto a pan, And then we're gonna get a saute skillet nice and hot, and we're gonna saute them.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put the pesto on them. We're gonna put a little cold butter to kind of help pull everything together.
Okay. So just for people like me who makes tons of stuff, how do you preserve it? Like, do you freeze it?
So from right here, you could go put these into the freezer, and then once they're all frozen, throw them in a freezer bag, and they'll last probably about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good tip.
And then you basically take them straight from frozen and then throw them into the boiling water, and then it's the same process. Once they float up, give them about a minute and then pull them out.
So even if they're frozen, how long do they? Just
Same.
a minute?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah.
great.
Once they all float up, it takes about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you can pull them out, and they're good to go.
Okay. Great to know.
Yeah. We'll set this off to the side for now.
Okay.
We're gonna blanch the broccolini. We might as well salt our water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's salt the water. Which one?
We're gonna do them both.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
This one wants it real bad.
I know. Screaming at us.
That's hot. And then, so basically, you ever salted water before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You want
just
to.
do like a little bit. Yeah. Or a lot.
We want a
Never done
lot.
that, but okay.
So for like
like-
blanching vegetables and doing especially like pastas, gnocchis, you want your water salty, like
Gotcha.
salty like the
You're
ocean.
talking about like 2 to 3 tablespoons or more.
I basically go by taste.
Yeah.
When you can really
I do
taste the
too,
salt in
yeah.
it, that's when it's ready to go.
Okay, so how long do we blanch the broccolini for? Like, just throw them in and take them right out? Or
So basically, we're gonna blanch the broccolini probably for like a minute and a half, kind of just to help them be a little more tender. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish them in a frying pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because for me, it's all about having a little bit of char. And then we're basically just gonna drop these in.
Do you need like something to pull them out with, like a tong?
I've got this handy
Okay.
dandy little thing right
Yeah.
here.
That's handy. So tell me about what you're doing this year.
So this year has been pretty big for us. We haven't told a whole lot of people this yet, but me and Jason have left our jobs. We are now doing donuts basically full time.
Now everyone knows.
Yeah. We're gonna try and do 3 events every month.
Wow.
And then we're slowly gonna also start transitioning into other lunchtime items. Not really sure what they're gonna be yet. Anything from like burritos, ramen, spam masubi,
Oh, I'm in. Those are great choices.
tacos. Yeah, a lot of things have been
Spam
kicked around.
musubi is not yet here. in
It's
La
not.
Crosse, and that's going to be big.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I love it personally. So
I'm a big fried rice person. So we're probably gonna see some of that coming out this summer. Just a lot of things. It's been a really exciting year for us. We've been super blessed with a lot of support from the whole community that comes out and buys our donuts every time we're out. And now we're ready for the next phase. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll find possibly a brick and mortar spot. But the future's only gonna tell for us.
that sounds really exciting.
Yeah, it's been extremely scary, but also like one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life.
I think taking a risk is always scary. It's always scary to like dash and jump after your dreams and goals.
It
But
is.
I think it's worth it. If you really want it, it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's attainable. Me and Jason, we've worked like crazy since 2019, and now we're finally seeing it start to pay off.
And there's proof that everybody loves what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we've had.
There's a big demand for those donuts.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we've started to do a lot more walk-up sales, so that way people that either forget to order on the app or just don't have anything going on that day,
Yeah.
if we're out there, you can just swing on through and pick up
We
donuts.
just happened to see you guys and I'm like, oh, you're doing this
Yeah,
today?
yep.
Yeah.
And then let's get a bowl for this to
Okay.
pull these out. If you come over and feel the stems, nice and tender.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pull those out and then run those under some cold water to basically stop the
I can do
cooking
that.
process.
You can finish
And I'll
blanching
finish
the
off the
rest.
broccolini here. But yeah, other than moving forward with our donut business, we've got lots of plans for new merchandise. Right now, we're trying to put together a sticker pack. We're trying to put out a new T-shirt for the summer. Me and Jason have been crazy busy with putting together new artwork for the business. A lot of people this year have found out that we do a majority of all the artwork for our business.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
You guys are really talented.
We both come from pretty artistic backgrounds, and we both recently decided to get iPads with Procreate and just haven't stopped drawing.
Okay, what are we doing?
Cool. Let's go ahead and start our pesto. Bring in this handy dandy gadget. How much garlic do you like?
I like a lot of garlic.
Perfect. That was the correct answer.
All of it.
I like a lot of garlic, so I buy the big garlic.
That's a huge clove.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like when people say like a clove in a recipe, this is the size.
My clove.
Yeah.
Thank you. There might be like a special name for it, right? Because everything has.
It's called elephant garlic.
See?
Yeah.
That matches the garlic.
Yeah.
It's elephant.
And then, so we've got our garlic chopped up. We'll push that off to the side.
And
We'll
how
get
much
some.
do you think that is right there? Like
Um,
a quarter cup?
if you don't get the elephant quarter cup wise,
Yeah.
yeah, I would probably say that's like a
Yeah,
quarter cup.
it looks like a quarter cup, huh?
I don't know if we'll use all of it, but it'll be pretty
I don't
close.
care if you use all of it. I'll eat it.
And then we're basically gonna eyeball out about 2 cups of basil leaves.
Okay. Just the leaves?
Yep.
Okay. Do you think that's 2 cups?
Yeah, that's probably
Okay.
good.
All right.
Then we'll take some Parmesan cheese.
And what are we looking at? Like
It's probably about 2 cups, maybe a little bit less, 1 3/4. And then we'll take a lemon, and we'll use that for later. And then I've got some butter that I cut up and chilled. And we're gonna add this into the pesto while it's blending.
Okay.
Because as it blends up, it starts to warm. And because this is going to have a lot of oil in it, we don't want that to break. So this basically helps it bind together.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, so
How much butter are you putting in there?
we kind of eyeball it out. Okay. I'll probably end up throwing in like maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons.
Okay.
We'll get all of our basil in there. We'll start with half the garlic.
Okay.
We'll throw the top back on. And then we'll take some olive oil. And this is kind of going to be like the binding agent for everything.
Okay.
We'll start some of this in here. And we'll just kind of pulse it. Once we get most of it chopped up, we can go ahead and throw our cheese in there.
That looks good already.
Yeah.
So this pesto doesn't call for any nuts?
Nope. Although I do like the ones with nuts in it, when I make it at home, I just never feel the need to.
Yeah.
And then we'll just let it run for a little while. We kind of want like a smooth texture to it.
I think this is a good option for people who don't like nuts or people who are allergic to nuts anyways.
Very fair. Because you still get the full same effect.
Yeah. I didn't know. I just thought pesto had to have nuts in it. So,
Nope, sure doesn't. I'm going to grab a spoon so we can push this down. We'll go ahead and squeeze our lemon juice in here. Then we'll blend it up some more and go from there. So now we're starting to reach that kind of desired consistency. It's a lot smoother, more kind of uniform together. Yeah, that's looking great. I like that. We'll start it back up. And this is where we'll start adding the butter in. You see how it kind of changes the color and texture of it? It'll also help us a lot when we're in the saute pan. And we're done. Yeah, I like that.
Ooh, it smells so good.
Yeah. Want to try some?
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
It does not need me.
Herby, cheesy.
It's amazing.
All right, now that we're all cleaned up, we'll go ahead and get our pesto out of our food processor.
Oh, that looks so good. I feel like I just eat that by the spoonful, which is probably bad for me.
No, it's all olive oil. It's fine. You could definitely spread this on a nice piece of toast and throw it in the toaster. So we've got our broccolini ready to go. We've got our pesto, and then basically it'll all come together pretty quick. We're gonna go ahead and boil off our gnocchi.
I'll hand that to you.
basically all we're doing here, we're just gonna drop these in.
Do you want this heat on? Fire, or?
Yeah, let's push it
There.
right
and
there.
Olive oil?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. We'll do the broccolini first.
Okay.
Get a little olive oil in there. Just drop some of this in. Go with a little salt on it. A little pepper. See how it's starting to pick up a little color on there?
I'm glad you're really good with the toss thingy.
It's a lot of times of not landing back in the pan.
There's one dish.
Yeah, so we'll bring our pan up to a nice medium high. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw some of these in. We don't want to crowd our pan, so that way they all have room to touch. And we're just going to let them sit on one side for a little bit so they all get that nice crust on them.
And a little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt.
Oh, I see them starting to brown already.
Yep, they're starting to pick up a little bit of color.
It looks good.
And then basically once we get them all nice and sauteed, we'll cut the heat off and then we'll finish them in the pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see? Now they're getting all that nice color on them. Then turn the heat off. We're going to throw in some of our pesto. We can completely remove it from the heat.
That looks good.
And then we're just going to finish it with a couple pieces of cold butter. And that's going to kind of give us this really nice, rich sauce to it. Awesome. And so then we come over.
Start plating.
Yeah, we'll start plating. A little broccolini. And then let me grab something else here.
I'm watching very closely. I'm learning here. So you don't want the juices in there. You just kind of want to get the pasta and the...
Oh, we'll finish up with the juice.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Go right over the broccolini with what's left in your pan.
So, give me a rundown again. What we...
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Not done yet.
Oh, the cheese.
Almost forgot.
Ricotta.
So then, once everything's all plated up, we'll come over with a little bit of fresh ricotta.
That looks good. And what does the ricotta cheese do?
I like it because it kind of just brings something refreshing to the whole plate.
Yeah, it's like nice and cool, right? On a hot dish. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Yeah, and then, now you can dig into it.
Great. What should I start with?
I kind of like to spread the ricotta over everything,
Okay.
just to let it warm up with the gnocchi.
This is amazing.
I want to try this broccolini first.
That's so rich. It's really good. And this is meatless. This is delicious.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm sorry. It's really, really good.
Thank you.
It's really hot too. But the cheese is a cooling factor.
Mm-hmm.
The ricotta is just like really nice touch on that. It's very subtle. It's not like overwhelmingly powerful, so you can't really taste all the other flavors. It's really good. Let's try the broccolini. That's great.
Thanks.
I'm going to eat this all by myself. Because you cooked and I watched. I'm going to have to rate you.
That's fine.
Okay, So we made this amazing dish. I think tons of these ingredients you can definitely find at the farmer's markets. Talking about the broccolini, potatoes, and basil. Everything except for eggs. Eggs, actually, you can.
Yeah.
Farmer's market, yes. Butter, we're starting to get tons of butter out there too, like homemade butter. Potatoes, yes. And then we're talking about the ricotta. You'll have to get that at your local supermarkets,
Yep.
your local people's co-op definitely has them. I think a home cook like myself can definitely whip this up.
Right.
It takes a little bit of prepping, but the cooking was so fast.
Yeah.
Blanching, and then pan frying, sauteing, then just putting it all together. It takes a little bit of patience, and I was learning as I was watching a lot of new things. And I was like,
The gnocchi wasn't too hard to make.
yeah, no, not too much. It was fun.
Yeah.
I was making snake rolls and I was cutting them, so that was fun. And then just like a little food processor. So I feel like this is not too many steps and it's not too hard for somebody to do it. It's going to be a fun date night thing.
For sure.
Yeah, or it'll be fun for you to do it with somebody else. But I think it's a very delicious meal. And it's hearty and it's filling and it's really healthy. It's like...
Yeah, it's
look at
definitely
all the
nice on
grains.
these cold nights that we're still having to deal with.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always fun. Hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah, of course. I'm Bo.
I'm Josh.
And this has been Cooking with Bo. Did you want another photo?
Because when you make it, you can't just like make a little bit. You have to make enough to like feed an army.
Yeah, myself.
Yeah.